I think they should understand by now the Department of Justice is not going to be extorted. We're going to do what's required by the rule of law, and any kind of threats that anybody makes are not going to affect the way we do our job.
This is a very interesting appearance. That's the Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein addressing some House lawmakers who have threatened to impeach him. House members say Rosenstein is refusing to turn over these documents on a number of matters, including FBI surveillance of the Trump campaign before the election and the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Jason Chaffetz, former Utah congressman, Fox News contributor, with me now. How you doing?
Good, good.
This is all this battle over documents going back and forth. I mean, you had a lot of these battles.
Hey, you can tell why we're having a problem, because Rod Rosenstein doesn't understand the Constitution, doesn't understand his role. In the Constitution, you can impeach a civil officer. That's embedded in the Constitution. For him to say that Congress is going to extort him by exercising their constitutional responsibility means to me he needs to go brush up on the Constitution.
Well, he's saying the Department of Justice will not be open to extortion.
No, they don't want to provide the documents. This deep state doesn't want to be exposed. They don't want to turn over the documents. The Oversight Committee was founded in 1814. There is case law throughout that says, yes, they will provide those documents. Congress created the Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice. Congress represents the American people. So when he thumbs his nose at Congress, he's thumbing it at the American people. They don't want to be exposed on a closed case. And it's time for Congress to get a backbone.
So you're saying Rosenstein's slow walking all this stuff?
Oh, absolutely. He's just admitting it.
His response is kind of interesting, too. He says if he allows you in your former position on judiciary, et cetera, that'd be a big problem. Here was his quote on that.
Yeah.
If we were to just open our doors to allow Congress to come and rummage through the files, that would be a serious infringement on the separation of powers, and it might resolve a dispute today, but it would have negative repercussions in the long run, and we have a responsibility to defend the institution.
Cannot come in and rummage through our files.
He is absolutely, totally wrong, and the case law proves it all out. This is a closed case, the Clinton email case. Remember, there was probable cause in that case where they had classified information in a non-classified setting. Guess what? Congress does get to come in and provide oversight. They do get to look at that's what we do in this country. We do it differently than the rest of the world. We are self-critical. And there has been congressional oversight since the early 1800s.
Well, my guess is people like Mark Meadows, they want to find out about what happened with Carter Page, and they want to find out what happened to the Hillary Clinton email matter. Now, Rosenstein, what do you think he's hiding?
Well, I don't know, but you have an inspector general. They open up all their books and all their personnel. They provide all the documents to the inspector general, but they won't provide them to Congress? What is it that you think, Mr. Rosenstein, that Congress shouldn't see? We have appropriate security clearances. There's no reason why they can't provide all these documents. They just don't want to, because they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to have any oversight. But that's the way our separation of powers works.
Yeah, just talk about impeachment. Do you think that's real, or is that just a verbal threat?
Well, I think it's appropriate to start that process, and if you're going to have somebody be that sort of an obstructionist and thumb his nose at the constitutional law, then maybe they should. There's always somebody doing something stupid in government. So
you know better than we, but we observe from the outside, and we probably would not disagree with that either.
Yes.
Mark Meadows said this on screen. Response to the draft articles of impeachment is reminiscent of our interactions with him over the past few months. A lot of rhetoric with little facts. If he believes being asked to do his job is extortion, then Rod Rosenstein should step aside and allow us to find a new Deputy Attorney General, preferably one who is interested in transparency.
Woohoo! Mark Meadows is absolutely right. And you know what? The other fundamental problem is that you have an Attorney General in name only. Attorney General Sessions is nowhere to be found.
Well,
because he recused himself, but he can't do the basic fundamental job there. And as long as you have Sessions sitting on the sideline, you have Rosenstein running the Department of Justice, and he's not cooperating with Congress.
I know why you did your job pretty well now.
You can see why I got a little fed up, too.
Well, you really believe in oversight.
I really do.
You believe in the role of Congress.
It goes back
as it relates to the Department of Justice in this matter.
Abraham Lincoln, when he came to Congress, was known as Spotty because he challenged the president. He didn't believe what the president was saying. There's a lot of history here, Mr. Rosenstein. Brush up on it, because you're not doing your job.
10 days in Italy, did you a lot?
The blood pressure went down, but it's back up. Yeah.
You came back refreshed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.